Getting good at 3D modeling sounds fairly straightforward. Practice equals getting good. However, if you start learning the wrong thing in the wrong order, you'll make it 10 times harder on yourself. And there's one particular learning pathway or learning sequence that I personally, after years of teaching, would always recommend if you want to learn in the fastest, most effective way. So here's the exact pathway I would follow if I had to start again for faster progress, and I'll be giving you the free resources on this channel you can use along the way if you actually want to follow this plan. Now, it's important to say that this is for someone who wants to get good at 3D modeling. So if you're looking at visual effects or maybe animation specifically, then you might look in a slightly different direction, but the principles of progression are the same. So on the screen behind me, you can see the different steps that I would take, and we'll start with step 1, low poly modeling. And I would suggest to every single beginner that they start with low poly models. These are models that are really basic and have a low poly count. So you might be thinking, well, I just want to learn sculpting. I don't want to learn low poly. Well, I find when beginners skip the low poly step and jump straight into sculpting, that's usually where things tend to unravel. Sculpting on top of weak fundamental shapes usually ends up looking a bit off, and it can take a long time to figure out what the problem is. But without the basic understanding of form, you're essentially building detail on an unstable foundation. Take this face, for example. The detail's good, but the shapes are bad, and it's a problem I often see students make. So always start with low poly modeling. And a good reason to start at this point is it's the easiest form of modeling. You get a nice easy win where you've made a model, it looks good, and it feels really awesome. But the most important aspect is you are learning the fundamentals of 3D art. The ability to break down a complex object into its simplest forms is the absolute fundamentals of being able to model in 3D. And low poly modeling teaches you exactly that. Take this fairly complex model, this monster, and just take a look and think what makes it iconic. So what makes it recognizable even if you are a long way away from the shape? Usually you can make that model up with very simple shapes. And you can see with this monster, we got basic cubes that are making up the bulk of the shape, but it's the relationship between those shapes that's all important. And again, from a distance, you can hardly tell that it's low poly, which is exactly the same technique used in games called level of detail or LODs. They reduce the detail the further the player gets away from the object. So again, it's all about getting the fundamental shape or that iconic shape of any object that you're trying to create. And being able to make that basic structure is vital to all aspects of modeling. And just low poly modeling, no detail, can look really awesome by itself. Here's the monster in a cool scene scaring some old man. So low poly is the foundation, and it teaches you to break complex objects down into simple, readable 3D forms. When the base shape works, everything else tends to work on top of it. And all those details can come later, but without those strong foundations, the details just don't work. So don't rush this stage. And if you want to learn and practice this properly, I have this free course here on YouTube where you can create this low poly character and the monster step by step. Links, of course, are in the description. So then comes step 2, which I call detailed low poly. This next step, as you can imagine, is just adding a little bit of detail. So instead of just getting the basic shape, you also start looking at a few more minor details. So take this well, for example. It's a bit more detailed than the monster. We have things like the tiles and the rope and the stones that make up the base and the tiny pebbles on the floor. They give a little bit more of an indication of the personality of the piece. Again, it's still low poly, it's still simplistic and fairly easy, but we're building up to more detailed objects whilst working on those fundamentals. So it's the low poly, basic shapes and form with a few extra minor details. That's why I always recommend my Well series after the low poly man series. It's an obvious second step in developing your skills as a 3D artist. You can get really wonderful pieces with this approach, and I would spend a lot of time getting used to the basics of low poly modeling. There are many amazing artists that don't even move beyond low poly work. And if you want further guidance and practice, I have a large low poly playlist full of tutorials where you can follow along. The third stage on my list is texturing. So you've done your low poly modeling, and at this point, it's a great time to learn about texturing those shapes. So simple UV unwrapping, where you unwrap your 3D objects and tell the program where you want those 2D objects, the textures, to be placed. And always just start off with simple textures, just a single texture, and this will help things take that next step towards looking realistic. After that, you can step into PBR materials so you get lots of detail in that texture. But always make sure you understand the principles, which is UV unwrapping first before you go into that detailed step. So again, the fundamentals of texturing is where is that 2D texture going on my 3D object? And it sounds simpler than it is. You need to learn about trying to avoid stretching and trying to hide seams. And a good challenge is a recent video that I did where we took one texture and we made a whole entire scene out of that single texture, just through clever UV mapping. Again, links in the description to that video. Once you have the fundamentals of texturing, you'll actually find there's again a huge amount you can actually make without having to add too much detail to your model. So in this case, check out my UV editing playlist to find out more about texturing and UVs. Now, if you're enjoying this content and you can see the benefits of this type of structured approach, then I have two really good options for you. Option one is the Pathway Bundle. It's a bundle of 3 different courses merged together with extra guidance and direction and challenges. It's really great if you want a self-motivated, self-paced, project-based method. This bundle walks you through everything from basic low poly modeling to a detailed workflow. It focuses a lot on low poly modeling, and the challenge is to build a complete game-ready asset pack by the end of it. Then there's option 2, which is much more detailed. It's a 10-week Ultimate 3D Artist program. This is great if you thrive in a more classroom-styled environment. This is a guided and structured course where you'll complete assignments and receive feedback. It goes through the entire process that I list out in this video, but in lots more detail, of course. And again, it's assignment based, so it's a bit like being in a classroom with a teacher and you get feedback, which again is great if you like that kind of environment. Our next program is about to start on the 8th of March, so you need to hurry if you want to get in for that one, but we do a program every 6 months or so. Once again, links in the description to find out more and see if those could work for you. The next step is sculpting or hard surface modeling, or maybe even both together. So you've got your textures on your models and things are looking fairly good, and people at this point tend to go in one of 2 directions. You can go in both, but they tend to go either a sculpting workflow or a more hard surface modeling workflow. Sculpting tends to suit more traditional artists if you have that kind of background. Many people who do the sculpting workflow tend to have a graphics tablet to sculpt their objects. The hard surface approach tends to be more technical and precise. Both of these approaches are ways of adding more detail and very fine detail to your objects. So it's kind of like the icing on the cake when it comes to realism. Both approaches take a fair bit of practice, but again, there are some courses I've linked to in the description that will help you with this. Then we have step 5, optimizing. So things like good topology or retopology. So you might be thinking now, I've got all my detail, the model looks fantastic and I've completed it. And in many ways you have if your goal is to get to realism. And you can actually skip the next step if you want to just print out your 3D models. But the next steps are generally understanding the skill of optimization, things like retopology or learning good topology when building your models. So both hard surface modeling and sculpting are for the most part done in such a way that it means adding a high amount of polygons to your objects. Now, like I say, this is generally fine for 3D printing, but it's not good for games or animating in films. So learning retopology and good topology can be really important. And what I mean by good topology is the way the faces and edges of your objects kind of work and flow together. It feels complicated at first, but it actually improves your modeling skills in general, and it often makes you a much more efficient and faster modeler. Once again, I've got lots of useful videos on this that will help you, links in the description. So those are all the steps, and if you follow this path, you're in a great position where nothing feels impossible anymore. You're no longer guessing about how to make objects, you're able to jump straight in and just build things. And that's when 3D really becomes awesomely fun. So hopefully now you've got a better understanding of the workflow. Do check out the links in the description to take you to the different areas of my channel or my courses to help you on your quest. If you've got any questions, then do comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.